Hello and welcome back, folks, to another episode of Insufferable with me, your host, Lindsay. How did you notice that I did not upload last week? Maybe you didn't notice. Maybe you're just now noticing because I told you to notice. I needed a week off, you guys. It has been rough around here, let me tell you, sister. Um, Yeah, I'm gonna need things to be looking up here pretty soon. They were looking up there for a while. I was worried that I quantum leaped back into a time that I didn't want to be instead of quantum leaping, forward into my highest timeline. But I'm trying to wrap it up. I'm trying to wrap my head around my life and what's going on, and I'm just trying to be positive, and that's kind of all we can do. It's all we can do. The Oliver Tree thing really put me out for like 2 weeks, and I'm not even kidding. Still feeling it pretty heavy. It's a huge loss. But you know what? It has really catapulted me into um doing the thing that I always want to do. Okay, whatever that may be. You know, we only have this one life to do the things that we want to do. Okay, if you want to write music, you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna go ahead and have to do it. Okay, if you want to make art, you're gonna go ahead and have to do that. Okay, we cannot be sitting and waiting. We cannot be dilly dallying, as it were. If you know me, you know I love to dilly dally. It's sort of my favorite pastime. But now is not the time to dilly dally. I really need to hit the ground running. I need to make a movie. I'm sorry. I fear that is the only thing that's going to satisfy me in my life at this time. I need to make a movie badly. Okay, and I already know which one I want to do. It's a short, and I'm going to hit the ground running on that. Okay, um, so please stay tuned for my announcement. I don't know how long from now, but I will be releasing a short film um, in the next, let's say, year and a half. Let's say that 1 year and a half. Okay. It's crazy because a lot of filmmakers will be like, oh, I did this on such a low budget, or, I did this and it cost me nothing. In order to do that, you need a lot of people to volunteer their time. And in this economy, it's difficult to ask people to volunteer their time, especially on something such as a movie, which is really hard to make, and it's really long hours, and you have to stay dedicated, and you have to give like somewhat of a shit about it. Okay, if it's my thing, I can't expect you to give a shit about my thing when I'm asking you to do it for free, and I don't want to ask people to do it for free. But you know what? Money ain't a thing. We're gonna pay everybody. It's gonna be a small team. Everybody gets a little bit of money, and we get to make a movie. And how cool is that? There's a story that uh, I started writing like years ago with my friend Gavin, which is like a little horror short, which is really cool. The story is cool. I can't remember like where we got it. I think it was like a rendition of a story we read on like a creepy Reddit thread. But that's the movie I'm gonna make. Mark my words. You can come back to this podcast and say, "Hey, look, she did it. She did the thing." You know, I'm gonna put. I'm gonna come back to this podcast and link the short that I will be uploading on YouTube in the description of this video, and you can come see it there. Okay, and that's on period. Anyways, guys, how is everyone doing? Like I said, I haven't been doing well, but I'm getting a little bit better. Um I just got back from Vegas. Shout out Vegas. Tomorrow's my birthday. Shout out to my birthday. But Vegas was super fun. We went to Old Vegas on night 1. It was super fun. I looked really hot, like super duper hot. Um, and so the outfit really did come together. And we didn't really go anywhere, insanely classy the first night. So I was able to wear denim shorts the first night. Sarah talked me into it. I was going to wear a skirt, and then she was like, just wear the shorts. We're just going to Fremont. And I ended up looking the hottest I've ever looked. So shout out to me and shout out to Sarah on that one. And then night 2, we did a Jersey Shore theme, which I don't know if I told you guys about that. If there's a Jersey Shore theme, sign me up. I'm there. I'm ready. I can do a Jersey Shore theme. I have no shortage of Jersey Shore energy in my life. Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm locked and loaded, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we did Jersey Shore. And we took a party bus. Sarah got a Groupon for a party bus, which was actually legit. I think it was only like $17 a person or something like that. And the party bus was lit. There was a stripper pole on it. I'll get to that in a second. And the bus basically takes you to all these different bars. So, but you start at this bar you meet everybody. You have to meet up at a location to check in with the promoter who is throwing the party on the party bus. Okay, the organizer, the logistics lady who had a fake ass and she said it was real. Girl, just let people know it's fake. At this point, that is not natural shape, and it is no shade to you. It is no shade to you. I would never ask someone if their ass is real. There was somebody in our group who asked her if her ass was real. Okay. I would never do that, but it happened, and then she lied. So she said, my boobs are fake. And I said, yeah, I could have told you that. I could have told you that, but that ass is fake too. I'm so sorry. And no shade to you. And no shade to you at all. Shout out to fake asses. I don't mind them at all. But anyway, you meet up at this bar in the Palms Casino, and you take the bus from there. But little did we know, she was like, oh, we're gonna go to the first club is actually like at the rooftop of this casino, and that shit was popping, dude. I love a rooftop moment. Dude. And I was like tipsy, and I was dressed as Snooki from Jersey Shore, my final form. And we were just dancing and taking pictures and being on a rooftop, and low key it wasn't even that hot in Vegas. Like, Vegas during the summer is usually like unbearable, and in the daytime it is pretty unbearable. Okay, 106, that's kind of crazy. But in the evening it was only like 89, and there was this breeze coming through. There was this breeze. I had all this lip gloss on, right? Because I was Jersey Shore, and the breeze was making my hair stick to my damn lips. I was like, there's a lot of wind up here. There's a lot of wind up here, and it feels nice too. It feels very nice. So we were up there partying it up. Sarah got me a sash, so I was wearing a birthday sash. Everybody kept asking me if it was my 21st birthday, and what did I say? Yes. No, I am not 36 years old. I am 21, and if you're going to believe it, then you're going to believe it. Okay? But yeah, so technically I was celebrating my 21st birthday again. And yeah, and then we get into the party bus, and they take you to the next club, and so on and so forth. I think we went to like 3 or 4 clubs, and the last one was heinous, dude. They were playing some kind of techno, like dubstep type shit that I do not like dubstep. Okay, I barely like house music. And when I say house music, I mean like what they're playing at the gay club. I can get down with that. But house music, dubstep, oh hell no, girl. Oh hell no, girl. Yeah, it's a no for me. So that club was the worst. But, going from club to club in the party bus was sick. And the first time we got in the party bus, our group was all in the front, and there was another group that was like all dudes. First of all, what are you doing? What are you doing with a party of 9 men? You guys need to split up. You can't go as a party of 9 men to any one location in Las Vegas or anywhere for that matter without me judging you. And I am sorry about that. I am sorry about that. 9 men could have been 12. Okay. And they were towards the back of the bus, which is where the stripper pole was. Okay. My group was in the front of the bus, and there was no stripper pole in our side. And so they was playing, it's gonna be a lit ass night in the party bus in Vegas when the first song they play is Shots. Shots, 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 shots. Everybody. You know what I'm talking about. Um that song is actually so lit, and it really does get you going. I am not gonna lie, it really does get you going. Let me see here. Shots by who is that? Little John? Little John and LMFAO? Is this a song? It has to be the song. So for songs like this, I like to look at the lyrics. And it's funny here because these lyrics are just shots, 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 shots. The ladies love us when we pour shots. They need an excuse to suck our cocks. We came to get crunk. How about you? Bottoms up. Let's go round two. So, going back to what I said when I first started this podcast, if you want to be a songwriter, you should go ahead and do it, because these are the songs that are getting people riled up. Okay. And I feel like you could do a better job than this. Even though, like, I am riled up by this song. Okay. This works on me. If you ain't getting drunk, get the fuck out the club. If you ain't getting shots, get the fuck out the club. If you ain't come to party, get the fuck out the club. Now, where my alcoholics? Let me see your hands up. This is a voice of a generation, okay? And if you feel pulled to write music, go ahead and just do it, sis. Go ahead and just do it, because it might just change the world. Okay? I don't know where you want people to be listening to your music, or like how moved you want them to be. If you want to write music for the clubs in Vegas, then there is a big market for that. What really pissed me off though is that they were not playing the new Meg Stalter song, which is Prettiest Girl in America with Vanilla Mace. I'm the prettiest girl in America. Prettiest girl in America. Prettiest girl in America. But that don't make me a bitch. I mean, a voice of a generation. The voice of a generation. I mean, if Meg Stalter is like going into music now, it's over for us all. There is nothing we can do, but there is something we can do. And I'm gonna go back to that point I was just making. If you want to write the song, just write the song, girl, because there's something for everyone out there. Music is like a kink. There is something for everyone. I used to think that when I was a kid. I used to like hear a song and it would be like, I don't know, Third Eye Blind or something. And I'd be like, this is someone's favorite band. There is someone out there who this is their favorite band, and they have posters in their room of this band, and they have all the CDs and all the cassettes and all the vinyls. Okay? Every band has a fan like that. So Write the song, girl. Anyway, back to the party bus. This group of 9 guys was back, by the stripper pole, and they were not dancing on the stripper pole, which is like, what are you doing? And that's what you get for being a group of 9 men. You know what I mean? They weren't having any fun, and they were not cute either. Okay, because if they were cute, I'd be talking a different talk right now. Okay, there was actually not one cute man in Vegas, and I'm telling you that straight up. And I was looking, I was on the prowl for a hot man in Las Vegas, Nevada, and there was not one. I can't remember seeing one hot man in all of Nevada. Okay, arguably there were hotter guys at the Del Taco in Barstow. Okay, so that's what the talent was looking like, or lack thereof talent, if you know what I mean. So the guys were back there by the stripper pole. They were not using it. They weren't even partying, dude. My group was like, shots, 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 shots. We was dancing. The thing that sucks too is I was wearing heels. Okay, I was wearing pretty big wedges, which, pro tip, are much easier to walk in, especially long term, than regular heels are. So like my feet were not hurting, but I was wearing a pretty big heel, and I still couldn't reach the pole that you're supposed to hold onto when you're like standing in the bus. It's on the ceiling, and I couldn't fucking reach it. At one point I was dangling from it like a little capuchin monkey. Okay, and you can't really twerk when you're dangling, or at least I can't. I am not a professional. Midnight ballerina type shit. Okay, so when we went to the first club and then we were getting back towards the bus, we were like, we have to get in the back of the bus because we want to dance on the stripper pole. Okay, did we? Barely. We got in there, we were already messed up, and we barely danced on the stripper pole. I don't know why we were so serious about getting it. I did a little spin. I did a throw that ass in a circle, another banger, another voice of a generation. Throw that ass in a circle. Throw that ass in a circle. Okay, let's read those lyrics, why don't we? Let's see what those got. Throw that ass in a circle. This is what we call spoken word here, what I'm doing. This is slam poetry y'all. It literally just says throw that ass in a circle 100 times. Throw that ass in a circle, riding around like a merry-go. Throw it back, I might hurt you. Toot it up, girl. There you go. The way she's shaking that ass got me hard like a shell on a turtle. Hard like a shell on a turtle. Make that booty jump like a hurdle. Okay, I like naked women, and that's the naked truth. She got a little booty, but she can make it move. I'm a broke April Fools. With all these girls standing around me naked, shit, I'm thinking, about to get naked too. Pop that pussy, don't play with me. If you ugly, bitch, please take a seat. I'm going to call it there. We don't need to go any further with that, but that's Throw Your Ass in a Circle. And that is a song that I was dancing on the stripper pole inside of the party bus that we took in Vegas on Jersey Shore night. Okay. And that's a sentence that I knew would come out of my mouth at one point in my life. We got the stripper pole. Amongst the 9 men who were in that giant group, which were pissing me off, there was one woman. Okay. I was trying to egg her on to do the stripper pole because she was back there with all these guys. And she was kind of doing a little dance on this man. She was doing a little lap dance. And I was like, okay, girl, get it. Oh, yeah, girl, get it. Get on the pole. Get on the stripper pole. Give us something, girl. She did not want to do that. But when we got off the bus and we was waiting in line, small line, not a regular line. We was in the VIP. I was waiting in line for the next club after security. I got like 7 hand stamps on every fucking club we went to. They stamped me here, they stamped me here, and then they made me turn my wrist around and stamp me on the inside of my wrist. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why so many stamps? You got me fucked up. Anyways, while we were waiting in line for the next group, this girl, the one who was doing the lap dance on the bus, she was talking to the logistics lady, the one with the fake ass. And she was talking about, yeah, I don't want to be alone on the next trip and blah, blah, blah. And we were like, you're alone right now? She's like, yeah. I came with my man, but they wouldn't let him in because he was wearing shorts. He was not dressed in the dress code. Okay. And it was her birthday. Okay. We were like, damn, that's messed up. Like, where's your man? She was like, yeah, he had to like go back and change because they wouldn't let him in because he was wearing shorts. And we're like, girl, you can hang out with us. And then I was thinking, like, damn, you're alone right now? Who was you giving a lap dance to on that bus? Was that not your man? I was like, damn, girl, what the hell? So we're like, you know what, girl, you can hang out with us. Like, don't even trip. We're like, what's your name? She says, Karen, but I'm really nice, I swear. We were like, okay, thank you for the disclaimer. Okay, you can't be named Karen these days. It does not bode well with strangers. She clarified she was nice. And she was nice. And we felt bad for her that she was by herself, giving a lap dance to some random man, it seemed. Because she didn't know any of those people. And I had just found this out. So we told her, like, we took her under our wing, like, you can hang out with us. You can hang out with us. Okay. Once we got into the club, she was able to meet up with her sister's man, and her man. Okay. Mind you, the man with the shorts, that was her man. And he got kicked out because of the short situation. But her sister and her sister's man also left her alone on that bus. And they went back to the room with her man to change into pants instead of shorts. Why would they leave her alone? That's so messed up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put all the details together and I'm like, why the hell would you fucking leave her alone to go on a party bus with like 25 other people she doesn't even know? That's crazy. So when we got in the club, she found her sister. She's like, I found my sister. This is my sister. And we're like, hey, da da da. We're like, okay, well, she's gonna break off with her homies now. So her sister's here, her man's here, her sister's man's here. Like, she's gonna go back to doing whatever she was gonna do. Okay. We had someone in our group get kicked out. We saw it from a mile away. It doesn't even matter. Okay. Shout out to him. I'm glad he got home safe. Okay. Then we left that club and we went to another club, and then it was the horrible club. So we did not stay long at that horrible club at all. We stayed there for like 5 minutes. It was bad. Okay. But we did have a free drink. They gave us a free drink ticket for that last club. Probably they wanted us to stay longer because it was not packed because the music was fucking horrendous. Please miss me with the dubstep shit, dude. Horrendous. Okay. So I'm over here. We get a drink and then we're like, we got to get out of here. It sucks. Like the music sucks and we're done. Anyway, we've already been to like 5 clubs. Let's go. So then we leave. And then right outside, there's like this little pizza spot. And we see Karen's man, whose name was Kevin, by the way. Karen and Kevin? What do you... You can't even write that shit, dude. That's crazy. If your name is Karen, you cannot date a man named Kevin. I'm so sorry. Dude. Those are characters in a story. Those are not real people. You can't be Karen and Kevin together. It's crazy. Okay. Anyway, we see Kevin eating pizza with Karen's sister and Karen's sister's man. And so me and Sarah are like, where's Karen? What happened to Karen? And then her man goes, she's about to get locked up because she was hitting people in the club. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah. We're like, well, where is she? And he's like, oh, if you guys want to go support her, she's outside with the cops or whatever. We're like, wait, so your bitch is getting arrested right now and you're eating a pizza casually with her sister? What the fuck is your problem, bro? So me and Sarah's drunk asses, we're like, we go out front. We go out front to see if she's still out there getting arrested. Maybe we can talk to the cops and tell them to not arrest her, which is something that her man should be doing or her sister. And there is nobody outside, but we're like, Karen, Karen, like yelling outside looking for her. We did not find her. She probably did go to jail that night for apparently hitting people in the club. But if any club would make me hit somebody, it would have been that one. It was so bad. The music was so bad. It sounded like it was from a horror movie. You know what I mean? I should have like Shazammed it for the horror short that I'm going to film this year. Okay. It was giving horror. Okay. I was trying to pee. I had a damn one piece on that, like, buttons in the crotch. What do you call those? Not a romper. Well, I can't think of the word. But it was so like tight that when I went to button it back up, I couldn't reach the back from the front because my arms are too short. Anyway, I'm in the bathroom trying to reach the back so I could button these back up in the crotch. And it sounds like a horror movie outside. And I remember that moment. I was like, this is the worst fucking music I've ever heard. We got to get out of here. And everybody agreed. And we got our free drink and we dipped. And yeah, dude, and Karen got left by her man and her sister. And if you are going to be partying in a city like that, you need to be with people who are not going to fucking let you get arrested, by the way. Who are going to just eat a pizza while you're being detained outside. You know what I mean? Like, that is so crazy. And if you're getting arrested, then your homies should be like grabbing an Uber to follow you to the jail. You know what I mean? So they can get you out at the first chance they get. You know what I mean? Or at least convince the cops that you're not like violent or whatever. I don't fucking know. I mean, who knows? Karen could be a scrappy ass bitch and she'd be getting in fights all the time. And her sister and her man are like, we don't want to deal with it. She's always getting arrested for hitting people. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But in my personal opinion, they really did her dirty, and it was her birthday, and she had to do the party bus by herself, which is like low-key cool. Like, I feel like if I got left by all my friends, I probably wouldn't do the party bus. I'd be like, I'll meet you guys in the next stop. But she did. She did. She got it in, and good for her. And I hope that she was able to get out of jail the next day, because the people she was with were not giving bail money. You know what I mean? Not that they didn't have the bail money, but that they wouldn't be willing to bail her out with their own money. So shout out to Karen. I hope she got home safe. So yeah, that was pretty much Vegas, dude. Vegas was super, super fun. We also went to the Taco Bell Cantina after that. What happens in Vegas, I will tell on the podcast. So that rule, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It doesn't apply to me. That was pretty much our entire weekend. I just gave you the recap of it. And yeah, dude, Vegas was super fun. Outfits were popping. I will insert pictures if I can get them. I only took a couple selfies on my phone. Sarah has most of the cool pictures, so I'll insert a picture if I get those. But tomorrow is my birthday. We are going to the beach. We're bonfiring. We're doing a bonfire. We're going to roast some hot dogs over the fire. And I think it should be super fun. It should be super, super fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm working a job now. I'm trying to be grateful for it. It is super chill. I'm making soap, so that's cool. And it's a bit manual labory, but I got to get my steps in anyway, so you know, that's the vibes. That's the vibes, and I'm definitely getting steps doing that. And I also get to wear like basically pajamas because everything you wear is gonna get ruined. So I've just been wearing like the sickest like pajama, like 2XL shirts and like pants to work, and it's actually super legit. And there's a guy that works there that's got a espresso machine, and he makes like the best fucking lattes. And that's the best perk ever. If there's free coffee in the building, sign me up. And I don't mean coffee from a pot that's been sitting there for 6 hours. You know what I mean? A fresh latte, it doesn't really get better than that as far as perks go. So yeah, the job's been good. We've been working, and everything else. I'd like to say it's falling apart, but I would like to say more so that it's all coming together. Okay. I would like everything to fall into place. Okay. If there's going to be a tower moment, I want it to fall into place. I don't want it to fall apart. So we're working on that. This weekend, I have a witchy market, and then we're stage handing Sarah's show on Sunday. So yeah, but I just been busy as hell. But you know what I haven't been too busy for? Watching Love Island. Okay, here is my Love Island takes right now. We are at, today is June 24th, so whatever episode we are up to at this point, I think it's like episode like 16 or 19, or I don't know, something like that. Corbin is an AI robot. Okay. I think everybody collectively agrees that Corbin is not a real person. Okay. The way he speaks is very much like ChatGPT, and this is across, everybody thinks the same thing. This is across the board right now. Okay. But there are a couple of things that he has said that has really made me laugh. Okay. At one point, he is, trying to have a conversation with somebody, and they're like, "What is your physical type?" Like, no, they said, like, "What's your type?" Usually, like, what's your type? And he says, and I quote, "I like physical attributes and personality." What does he say? Fuck. Personality types. He says physical attributes and personality types. That's his type. Physical attributes is crazy. It's ChatGPT when chat has not been trained on like what the like beauty standard is right now in today's age. Like I feel like now if you ask ChatGPT like what's your type, then ChatGPT will be like long dark hair, brown eyes, big boobs. Like I feel like ChatGPT could come up with something that's like the beauty standard of today. But Corbin said physical attributes. He is a robot person. Like, I don't understand how the girls, when they're kissing him, they can't tell that they're kissing like an AI. And there's too much kissing on this season. I'm going to be honest. There's too much kissing on this season. They need to cut it out, and they need to cut it out ASAP, girl. There's too much. Okay. And then there was another point where in the morning, Trinity, who shout out to her, she's my favorite, she was like, "I had a nightmare last night. It was so cool," which, first of all, is a crazy thing to say. She straight up said she sucked somebody's dick in the back of her mom's car because it was daylight savings time. She's iconic. She's iconic. So anyway, she said that she had a nightmare, and then other people chimed in about like what they dreamed about. "Oh, I had a dream about this. I had a dream about this, blah, blah, blah." And then Corbin was like, "I wish I could dream like you guys." Or he said, "I wish I could sleep like you guys." What do you mean by that, Corbin? Are you not sleeping? And then and there's a fucking shot. They always like do like who's sleeping in what bed. Like tonight, Corbin's sleeping with Mackenzie, and they have like a night vision shot of like everyone who's sleeping in the bed. Because some people are single, so they're sleeping alone in the bed, so they go through, and they they do a shot of fucking Corbin, and he looks like a robot sleeping. He's laying on his back. His face is frozen, He doesn't have like a sleeping face. Like, a lot of people like their jaw relaxes and they look a little like when they're sleeping, right? Corbin's face looks exactly the same. He just has his eyes closed and he's laying on his back, which I know is not that weird, but he's never beating the AI allegations, I fear. He's never beating the AI allegations. Okay. It's giving companion at this point. It's just so, yeah, it's just so crazy. And there's something else that he said that I wanted to comment on, but I can't think of it. So, Sincere's a piece of shit, and I never liked KC, even though he is fine as hell. I'll give him that, and his style is incredible. He is looking to be chased by a woman, and that's not usually, first of all, how the world works, and second of all, how Love Island works. Okay, the men are to be chasing the women. They are to be pulling chats, unless you're a fucking bombshell and a woman has to pull chat on you, whatever. But these men need to be chased. All of the men on this season want to be the little delicate princesses that they are. They want to be treated as so. They want to be treated as princesses. And it's really annoying, to be honest. Okay? The more red pill you are as a man, the more like you want to be a princess. You want to be the prize. And they swear that they're high value men and that they are very masculine. But it is not masculine to want to be chased. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you. If you want to be a princess, just say that. Okay? That's why you're lonely. I hate to break it to you. Oh no, my phone. Okay, hold please. Okay, my phone is about to die. Classic. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. Maybe we'll talk more about Love Island next week. But thank you for bearing with me on the break that I took last week. Yeah, I really didn't want to skip a week, but I had to do it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. My parting words for today's episode is make the song, do the art, film the movie, release the thing that you are working on, share it with people, work on it, develop new things, be a creator. Okay, create more than you consume. And mark my words, I'm gonna film a fucking video in the next, I'm in a short in the next year. Okay, I'll put the link in the description. So don't piss me off. Okay. If you're working on something, then go ahead and release it or, tease it or share it or, whatever, work in progress, whatever it is. Keep doing it, please. You can write better songs than throw that ass in a circle. And I'm telling you that right now, girl or boy or they, them. Do your thing, do your art and release it. Okay. Leave your legacy so that people can connect with you. Okay. And shout out to you and shout out to Oliver Tree. Still not over it. Shout out to Oliver Tree. Let's all make sure that we leave a legacy if you want to. Okay. But don't leave it because you don't think people aren't going to like it. Okay. Who cares if anybody likes it? If you like it, that's enough. Okay. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Bye.